Sure.
If you would, will you tell me your first and last name and spell it for me?
Sure. My first name is Vandana, Vandhana, and my last name is Bala, Bala.
And what do you do for Mercy for Animals? What is your title?
Could you repeat that? You froze again.
Oh no, okay, so what is your title?
I'm General Counsel of Mercy for Animals.
Gotcha. Okay. So, what have you seen? What has Mercy for Animals found in Wisconsin? We know that there have been a couple of abuse cases, but can you talk about some of the things that Mercy for Animals has uncovered in Wisconsin over the last few years?
Mercy for Animals, in the past couple of years, has conducted 2 undercover investigations of dairy factory farms in the state of Wisconsin. One factory farm was located in Brown County, one was located in Shawano County. And during the course of both of these investigations, Mercy for Animals documented horrifying and egregious animal abuse. This includes workers kicking and beating cows, jumping up and down on cows, stabbing cows, and sick and injured cows who are left to suffer without proper medical attention. We documented patterns of vicious and malicious cruelty. And our undercover investigations have led to criminal convictions of multiple dairy factory farm workers on multiple counts of animal cruelty for the abuse that we documented. And our investigations have also led to landmark corporate animal welfare changes. Nestle Corporation implemented some significant and meaningful animal welfare changes tied to one of the investigations that we conducted in Wisconsin.
Would you be able to get those kind of reactions from companies and from lawmakers or from law enforcement if you didn't have the videos that you've collected?
The videos are a crucial element of our animal advocacy work. Consumers are kept in the dark about how animals are treated behind the closed doors of factory farms. And what we do with our undercover investigations is to shine a light on these practices employed by factory farms and slaughterhouses across the country, because ultimately consumers have a right to know how their food is being produced and how animals are being treated, so that they can make informed choices.
Do you believe that the videos are really the, I guess, your best argument or the way to make the best way to make your case, or is there another way that you can go about it?
I do think that the video footage that we gather during our undercover investigations are incredibly important and incredibly valuable. They serve as evidence in criminal prosecutions of farmed animal abusers. They allow the public, the consuming public, to see exactly what's been going on and what's happening inside of these factory farms and slaughterhouses. And they're a very, very useful tool to help us improve laws and corporate animal welfare policies.
Are you seeing a shift now where there are ag-gag bills, so to speak? Because you know, that might be something that Wisconsin is considering, and I'm just wondering, I have a twofold question, what that does to an organization like Mercy for Animals, but also, you know, if you have seen this kind of movement across the country.
Could you, Michelle, if you don't mind, repeat the second part of your question again? For some reason, the sound went off and I wasn't able to hear it.
Sure. Sorry about that. Okay, so let me just ask you the first question. Let me just ask you the
Okay.
first question. Are you seeing ag-gag bills, like a movement of ag-gag bills across the country?
Beginning, sorry, I heard across the country, and then it went mute again.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not doing anything. It must be our connection. Are
It
you?
must be, yeah.
Yeah. Are you seeing ag-gag bills, more of these ag-gag bills across the country? This movement to keep videos out from the public.
Beginning in 2011, state legislatures began introducing ag-gag bills, and this is at the behest of the factory farming industry. And we believe that these ag-gag bills are being introduced in direct response to undercover investigations that are being done by groups like Mercy for Animals. There was an increase in 2012 and 2013 in terms of the number of ag-gag bills that were introduced, and the number is going down now. And that is, I think, in large part because the vast majority of Americans are completely opposed to ag-gag legislation. I mean, these are bills that are unconstitutional. They offend the First Amendment. They're fundamentally un-American because they seek to keep the consumers in the dark. Ag-gag bills are really detrimental not only for animals, but for all aspects of our society. They implicate food safety. They implicate workers' rights. They implicate environmental concerns. So these bills are really a terrible thing for every aspect of our society. And that's why the vast majority of Americans truly oppose them.
What is the argument that how are ag-gag bills unconstitutional? Can you explain that?
Sure. They violate the First Amendment. Sorry, my computer is doing weird things. Are you still able to see me?
You're still good. You're still good on my end. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, no, you're fine.
Okay. Ag-gag bill. Oh,
sorry. I was just going to ask you the question again. So how are they unconstitutional?
What ag-gag bills seek to do is they seek to suppress speech based on the viewpoint of that speech. The industry goes ahead and paints all sorts of mischaracterizations about how animals are treated on factory farms. What these bills seek to do is stifle the opposing viewpoint, which is the truth, which is how animals are really treated in factory farms and in slaughterhouses. And so these bills are basically targeting speech that's critical of the animal agricultural industry, and that is unconstitutional.
I see. So is there ever, so you think that these ag-gag bills are actually on the decline? That's what you're seeing across the country?
That's the trend that we've seen in recent years.
Okay. Do you know how many states, not to put you on the spot, but do you know how many states roughly have ag-gags, that implement ag-gags?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Do you know how many states have some sort of ag-gag?
Beginning in 2011, 4 states have enacted ag-gag laws. Those states are Iowa, Utah, Missouri, and then most recently the state of Idaho.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Is there anything that you would like to add that I maybe didn't ask? Is there, I don't know if I mean, I kind of feel like I know your stance on everything, but I don't know if I'm forgetting anything to ask you, or if you want to add anything.
I would say, yes, that the bottom line is that ag-gag bills are bad for consumers. They're bad for the public. They're bad for all of us. And so I would encourage people to speak out against these unconstitutional and un-American bills, to protect their right to know and to make informed purchasing choices, and to visit our website, mercyforanimals.org, for information on how they can get active to fight ag-gag bills in their state.
Until then, will you continue to do work in Wisconsin? If I mean, this has not been introduced yet, but I mean, would you still continue, I don't know, working in states that have ag-gag laws, or I don't know if that's a fair question or not. I just, you know, if your work is so important to you, you know, I don't know. Have you, I mean, did you stop doing work in, like, let's say Missouri or Iowa or Utah?
You know, we do make a point to, let me say that again. So Mercy for Animals, in doing our undercover investigations, we do comply with all federal, state, and local laws. So at present, there are challenges underway to the ag-gag laws in both Utah and Idaho. and we're hoping that those unconstitutional laws will be overturned. In the state of Wisconsin, there has not been a bill introduced yet. We'll wait and see what happens this legislative session in Wisconsin, but we do intend to oppose any attempts to enact an ag-gag law in Wisconsin because it's just bad for the animals and the people of Wisconsin.
Got it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I'm going to stop the broadcast so that we can just talk for a second. I got to ask you a couple more follow-up questions, but
Okay.
unless you want to add anything.
No, I think you asked a lot of questions that covered everything.